Hi, my name is Carl Stanley and welcome to this section. So now, if you look at our agenda, we're going to start with a baseline. Right? I'm going to show you a little bit of an Excel spreadsheet. This one here, the application portfolio, June 2019. And I'll show you what I mean by cleaning up a little bit of data. Then we'll use that data. I'll show you the meta model. I'll go through a little bit of theory. I'll show you the meta model, and then we'll put it into that sheet. Okay, so let's flip over to the file that I'm going to give you. So here is a crowdsourced piece of data, a repository of, a table from a SharePoint. So whole bunches of names of apps, right? All grouped into different portfolios with the lifecycle attributes and technology components related. Now, if you know anything a little bit about databases and what have you, that record there has too much. This whole record has too many values for one piece of technology, for the technology field. Right? So a clean data set usually looks like something like this. Right? One value per application. Right? One value. So when I say clean up and procedural level, if you take this spreadsheet, you go to data, you go queries and connections, you'll see that Microsoft have a tool called Power Query inside Excel. And it runs a columnar database. Don't worry too much about that. But behind the scenes, you are getting access to get file workbook from a table, and then, hey presto, you get a data, let's clean up and transform tool that comes straight out of the box. Haha. So doesn't this final step in our applied steps look like the spreadsheet I just showed you? The other sheet in that workbook? It does. Because we started here with a whole bunch of stuff, right? You'll notice I can go queries and go queries. A whole bunch of stuff, right? And with pipe symbols in it and semicolon hashes in it and all sorts of stuff. You'll see it's picked up straight out of the current workbook of a table called Table Query 8, which, don't worry about that, you go and design it and you can see the actual name of the table. You don't have to code any of that, it just does it automatically. And it's just a bit dirty, right? So what you do is you split things out by delimiters. And when I say procedural level, what you need to do, click on those gear icons. It tells you what I've done. Go through them, unpivot. So remember we had those technology stack with a bunch of data, or the technology field or column with a bunch of values in it. And then we separate those out, okay? So then we've got one record with an application and many technology components. Wouldn't it be nice if you could flip many technology components and then have a repeat the app name for it, so you've got a one to many? Yes, that's what the unpivot does. So you pick up a field with a whole bunch of stuff in it, right? You separate it out and then you unpivot it. And then it flips everything into a set of, I won't go too far into it, but you'll get the gist of it. Where is my app? I did it via application first, didn't I? I think I did by application first. So you had related apps. See how they all started to flip out? And then there was a whole bunch of junk that had numbers in it and don't need any of those. Okay. And then all the way at the end, here's my value that I want to keep, right, for my application portfolio. So now I've got one application goes in that portfolio, one application goes in that portfolio. And you'll see as you go through how that's worked. I've filtered some stuff out, I've sorted the rows, and then hey presto, you've got a data set. Now, why do I show you this? Well, wouldn't it be good if I could create fact sheets on each of these pieces of technology? What would we call them? Well, if we go back to LeanIX, wouldn't we call them IT components? Let's go back to our inventory. Wouldn't I call them IT components? Oop. Reload. Having a SaaS platform, you need to make sure you're always on the web. And away you go. IT components. Wouldn't that be cool? And there you are. So I'm going to show you how to get all that stuff out, stick it in there, and hey presto, start to use LeanIX. And then I'll show you some reports. So that was a quick show of unpivoting, separating stuff, and then we're going to do a little bit of theory so that you get some background into the meta model. So let's leave it here for a second, and then we'll be back.